Hey guys, it's Tinker Tailor here today, bringing you part 2 to ChermiBear's banana split shell, I believe it's called. Um, and again, I really had so much fun with this build. So if you haven't seen part 1, I should probably link it down below. I say that a lot with my videos, like, oh, I'll probably have it linked somewhere, usually in the cards, but I think I'm gonna try and go link some of my other parts, well, yeah, other parts to other parts. No, basically just try and get all the things linked so that if you're looking for a certain video, you can just go do that. Um, yeah, we are finishing up the shell today. I spend most of this time just going around adding some decor. I didn't want to decorate it too much because I didn't want people who wanted to download this build and actually play in it to have a lot of problems with it. So I didn't clutter too much. Like in the kitchen, I think I maybe put like a fruit bowl. Um, I don't put a microwave, but yeah, I put like a fruit bowl in a bin, and that's pretty much it. I say a bin, I put two bins actually. I have not play tested this either. I am terrible with playtesting. Mostly because it involves playing with a sim, and that's just not my strong suit. But one day I will eventually maybe perhaps play the game. No promises, but it's been a thought in the back of my mind. But yeah, the build is done. I think I've uploaded it. I'll have to double check, but yeah, it's kind of an exciting build. I feel like I'm definitely in this sort of um brutalist or grungy build mode. That's and fancy. Those are kind of the three build types I'm doing, or a combination of any of the three. So here I've done sort of fancy and brutal industrialist sort of. And then I did that with Freshy Shell. With Sarius' shell, I didn't. That one, I don't know. I wasn't too happy with it, but I guess it's because I didn't use these things. Um, but yeah, like it's just the current mood I'm in, I guess. Ever since I did the desert villa build that took me forever to finish and used a lot of CC, that's sort of just trickled through to the rest of my builds. So for a while we might have this sort of stuff. But I've been looking at my builds for next year because I have a secret project. If you've been watching my recent videos, you'll know that I have a secret project going on in the background that I'm trying not to talk about but desperately want to. And yeah, looking at that, there's like chunks of very similar builds. And I'm not too crazy about that, but there's not much I can do about it. Um, and I can't explain why, because if I do, I'm going to start talking about it. But pretty much, there is reasons for these builds to happen this way, and it's yeah, it's turning out that they're chunking, and I can't change how they do it, unfortunately. But we I say we I am still working my way through that challenge. So I actually looked it up before I started, and I'm in the triple digits. This project, this I guess challenge. It's not really a challenge. It's project. Um, goes into the thousands. I say the thousands, but it reaches over 1,000. And probably will grow again in the future. And I'm only 26% of the way of recording, like writing down, I guess, the inspiration for build, and then 19% of the way through writing the actual build, like what it is. Um, so you know, this is going to be a very, very long project and it's taking me forever. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying this whole process. It is a little frustrating, I guess, to try and come up with build ideas when there are, like I said, over 1,000 builds, and I want to try and create individual new ones for every single piece of inspiration that I have. So it's been difficult to say the least, and I'm not I'm not even a quarter of the way through it, so you know, it's a lot. Um, like if you could just hear my mouse scrolling just then, that was just to get through the bit that I've done, and then the bit that I haven't done is I don't even want to. I've got a lot to do. So basically, I'm hoping by maybe the end of this month I could be 25% of the way through, and actually start on it. So I'm gonna have to start on the project and then also finish off the planning for it as I go. Um, it's just one of those things where I just have to sit down for a while, and it's gonna be annoying and it's gonna be long and it's gonna be frustrating, but just sit down and do it. So, you know, I my problem is I get stuck. So with the inspiration, I'm writing down the list of what they are, what the things I don't want to again speak too much into it, but writing down what is inspiring me, what the inspiration for the build is, and I can go do that in advance because I know what they are. I know what the inspiration is. Um and I can look it up and get inspiration from that. And then I just have to go through and get the inspiration. But my problem is that I sometimes look at the thing that is supposed to be inspiring the build, and I am not inspired by anything. I don't have any thoughts or ideas, or, you know, I just get like a word or a vibe, and I'm like, oh, that's goofy. And I'm like, okay, goofy is not a build idea. So, you know, we're struggling, but what I've been doing is just going through and finding all the ones that jump out easily to me and filling those in. And then going back through and going, okay, well, now that I've got these sort of ideas, I've written down all these things, I can kind of go ahead and maybe I do this, maybe I do that. And so I have a lot of ideas now. Like I said, we're in the triple digits, aiming to get into the quadruple, but that's probably years away. Like I said in previous videos, this is going to take me years to finish. Like the whole thing. Uh, I think yeah, like I said, I think 19% of the way through takes me to the end of the year. So not this year, next year. So it's the full year next year of what I'm doing. And it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot, guys. And I'm kind of happy about that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's interesting. It's a lot, but yeah, I'm very excited for what this future holds because I feel like a lot of people are either going to really like it or not like it at all, and I'm okay with that because you can get feedback from that, and people can be like, well, you should have done this or you should have done that, and I'd be like, absolutely. um and I feel like it's just going to help me build like 10,000 times better. um and it's going to be interesting and fun and curious, and um hopefully, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it because like I said, it's going to be a massive project. um and I'll keep you guys updated on how far through I am the planning and the building and whatever. I just don't want to spoil it too much, but as soon as it goes live next year in January, I will absolutely share that with you guys. Like I'll let you know everything. And I'll be able to tell you everything, which will be so super exciting. But also I'm still doing the A to Z challenge as well. So if you don't know what the A to Z challenge is, there's a little challenge I run. I say little, it's huge. A challenge I run every year where from July to December you get a new letter. I believe we are in week I. Oh, did I post week I? That is a good question. I'm so really bad with keeping up to date with these things. I'm pretty sure I posted it yesterday. Yes, I did. Okay, we're in week I. And you have until basically 6 days from when this video goes live, to do a build, a room, or a sim, or a combination of two of those, that starts with the letter I. So you could do an ice cream parlor and an investigator. I don't know why I've had to come up with so many ideas for this challenge, and like writing them down and sharing them so that if people don't have ideas, I can share them, and they just vanish from my brain as soon as I write them down. So when I'm like talking each week, I have to think off the top of my head, like, okay, what is it? And I could just look it up. It's the ideas are on my Instagram. It wouldn't be all that difficult for me. But yeah, I didn't do that. So I had to think off the top of my head. But anyway, there is no shells. There are no real rules other than it has to start with the letter, and you can enter it in on Instagram, but I am actually taking the the entries on Discord, because last year when I ran this challenge, Instagram ate a lot of my posts. So, well, I say my posts, a lot of your posts, a lot of entries. So I was having a lot of difficulty trying to get that sorted and making sure everyone got in. And unfortunately a few people I I did tour them, but they had to tell me, hey, you missed out on my thing. Like I had this and that, and you didn't tour mine, or like it didn't include it in the voting, or whatever. So yeah, I am definitely going to be figuring out in the future how to do it better. But for now, yeah, we're kind of still on Instagram and Discord. I'm probably gonna give, I mean, it's got hashtags for the gallery, I guess, so I'm probably gonna start going through that way and picking out the builds from there. And like I've mentioned previously in another video, I'm thinking of turning it into a competitive challenge, but also into just what I have it now. So leaving it as like a do it for fun. So if people want to be competitive, they can be competitive and they can compete. And then the people who just want to chill and relax and build and have fun, they can do that. And it kind of creates this happy middle ground for the tours. So yeah, if you're interested in that, definitely check out my Instagram. I know a lot of people don't, I say a lot, I know some people don't use Instagram and they don't want to use it for like Sims challenges and things like that, and use other places like Reddit or the gallery or whatever. So definitely let me know down below, if you don't use Instagram, what do you use to find challenges? So that way I can still share it with you guys. And yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be fun to do that. I just have to find some people who would be interested in that. And we do have some fun special guest judges who are some pretty cool people. I haven't announced who they are yet, but I will probably soonish. I don't know. And I'm very, very excited for that. But until then, yeah, just if you want to take part in the challenge, have fun. If you don't, don't. I'm not too fast if people are too busy or too overwhelmed. But the best part about this challenge is that if you want to just take part in 1 week, you can. You don't need to take part in every week. And in fact, if you just want to take part in one, that's absolutely fine. If you just want to do rooms, that's fine. If you just want to do builds, that's fine. If you just want to do Sims, it's fine. I've kind of this is also the first year we've had Sims. This is also the second year we're running the challenge. But yeah, I'm trying to open it up to as many people as possible because I know that not everybody plays the way that I do, and not everybody wants to play the way I do. So I'm just trying to make it a little fairer for everybody, so that it's fun and interesting and everybody can have the time of their life, I guess. One thing. No, I don't know what I was gonna say. Sorry. No, actually, I do. Sorry. When I do tour the builds, I tour them over on Twitch. So if you are interested, definitely head over to my Twitch, which I believe is linked down below. You don't need to do anything other than just check it out. And I'd appreciate it if you did give me a follow if you are interested in seeing the tours live, or if you're interested in seeing me build live, because I actually built this and a lot of my other builds live. I do quite a lot of them live. But yeah, I usually, like, when I finish streaming and I'm done and I'm tired, I'll just do like the last little bit off stream. But this one I did completely on stream, I think. Actually, yeah, I did, because I was waiting for one of my fellow streamers, Fresh Pick, to go live because he was doing shell tours on his Twitch, and I was so excited because I was hoping to be toured that day, but I got toured the next, which was still pretty awesome and pretty cool. So yeah, definitely, if you are over on Twitch, check out those people, because if you like my building, you are absolutely gonna love their building. Fresh is amazing. Shermie is really, really good as well. Anyway, basically, if I've done a shell of somebody, that person you should go check out because they are awesome. I don't know. I hang out with people and then they're like, "Oh, I've got a shell," and I'm like, "Oh, cool, I'll do that." But then I see shells on Instagram and I'm like, "Oh, absolutely do that. That's so great and cool and fantastic." But then I completely forget open the shell and do it. So I'm really bad with that. Because there's a few shells I want to do, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we are getting close to finishing up this build, and I know that we've still got a while left on this video, but I basically spend from basically the garden until now just running around trying to add little extra bits of detail because I was waiting for Freshie to go live. So I do a little bit of meddling and fiddling, and I don't know if that was a good thing or not. I also do spend forever and a day looking for a certain like a napkin holder, and I couldn't remember what it was called, and it was really frustrating me, but I was determined to look for it, mainly because it helped pass the time, but also because I know I've used it before. There are some items where I'm like, isn't this a thing? Like, I feel like I remember it, but this is actually, like, for sure a thing. So yeah, I don't know, it's kind of frustrating when you can't find things. I feel like that's happened to me more and more often because more and more packs have been released and I get sucked into the build mode side of things, and I desperately want to find these things. It drives me up the wall that I cannot find these things. And I used to know where a lot of things were because I could see like the items a lot easier, but there's so many items in this game that it's just ridiculous. Um And yeah, so I really do sometimes struggle to find items. That's the item I was looking for. That napkin holder. But yeah, I I feel like I do better in builds where I'm not having to think as hard, which makes sense. The less you have to think and the easier it is, the better you'll feel about it because it's easier. But yeah, I just feel like having so much stuff sometimes does overwhelm me. So I definitely feel like I'm gonna be doing a lot more pack restricted builds, I guess. So if you checked out Fresh Picks Shell Challenge that I did recently, I only used kits in that game. But I might um pick some random pack generators and do some challenges like that. Or I might find some shell challenges where there are limits, or I might make some shell challenges where there are limits. I've been thinking about shell challenge. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting, kind of fun, kind of different when you limit yourself. I know some people only have base game or only have the packs that were free on the kits that were free, which, you know what, I totally respect. You absolutely should not waste your money on the game. It's, especially if you're a game player, it's kind of broken, but the build mode I love. And I'm lucky to be in a position where I can do this. Is love building. Even though I haven't done it in like a week, because I did not want to. I get a little burnout sometimes, and I think this massive project that I have going on is making me burnt out, even though I haven't even started building for it. But it makes sense. It's a huge build and a huge project. Lots of builds, and it's going to be a little overwhelming, and I'm going to be very busy, and I'm already busy with uni at the moment, but finishing up soon. I'm so excited. I've got pretty much, I think it's mid-October I finish. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, very, very excited about that. And it means that I've got a couple of months where I can really throw myself into the building. Um, or I'll probably build every day for like a month straight, get severe burnout, not touch it for a week or two, and then come back to doing a couple of builds a week. Or a couple of days of building, I should say. I used to do 2 builds a week, but now it's kind of like 2 buildings, 2 build sessions a week instead, which is a lot easier than trying to, yeah, overwhelm myself. So yeah, I don't know. It's I'm getting to that point again. I talk about this every so often, where I'm excited for The Sims again. I go through like burnout, where I'm like, I hate this game. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to do it. And then I go to like, actually, I'm kind of really excited for the future. This is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting. And yeah, we're kind of getting back into the interested zone. So if you like building and you want to see more of what I can do, I would really appreciate if you could let me know down in the comments actually that you want to see more or what you'd like to see more. I've got plenty of build ideas, but if there is anything that you would like to see, I can absolutely try to include that. Because I do need some ideas that are not a part of this massive project that I've got going on. I'm also kind of thinking of starting another project, but that's going to be years in the future. I've got to wait for the project 1 to finish, and project 1 is bigger, so yeah, it's going to take me a couple of years to get project 1 done, and I can start working on project 2. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have to blab on about, because otherwise I'm going to be here talking about that project and I'll let something slip that I don't want to. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out part 1 and of this video and all the other videos that I mentioned. But until then, thank you so much for watching and hanging out, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!